Quad City Sports Talk Radio Show. We are your Quad City Sports Talk Radio Show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the Dawn.
The rest of them are butter knives. We are machetes. That's right. Jaybird and T-Roy, the sharpest duo in the sports talk industry, hands down. And welcome to the greatest show in the Quad Cities and Earth, as a matter of fact. Don't hassle so local. Thanks for listening, everybody. Leah Baum is terrorizing Iowa City today. I'm sure she has a long list of gentlemen following her around, seeing what she's up to there. We got Tom Kakert coming on at 1 o'clock, so please jump on in.
Shake.
Little shake and cakes. We're going to go through all the stuff that's going on with college football, or the lack of, probably.
Well, yeah.
But we'll see what happens. Got a long weekend of sports to fill you in with. Got our guesses from Friday to cover and everything else. And, man, just want to talk to everybody and say great weekend. It was a beautiful weekend. Didn't get as hot as we thought. And how was yours, Jay? I know we both went to pool parties.
Fine. It was warm. Yeah, I went to a pool party. That was nice. I want to.
You're very Bronzeburg.
Thanks. I don't feel like that, but yeah, did some yard work. Nothing too crazy out there. Watched the games that we could, and then
had PGA.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Colin Morikawa.
Interesting PGA. There was 10 guys going into the back nine that could have won that tournament. That's what makes it fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So out there, PGA, that one, and I did like that it was a little bit later in the afternoon, so it went into it only interrupted it only went over maybe by about 4 minutes or so. So,
well, anything that interrupts 60 minutes, as far as I'm concerned, is a good thing.
I was worried about.
As a kid, I still have that anxiety over hearing that damn sound, because that meant football was over.
Yeah.
And I had to sit at the dinner table and watch 60 Minutes because we would pull the TV around the corner, because it was on wheels.
Yeah.
Back in the
that is a really
70s,
good point.
80s.
That when you were a kid was like your weekend's over.
Yeah.
It's time for school. You're back to everything.
Yep.
That you're right. That was a.
Might as well. If I hear that sound, I just want to jump off a cliff.
Yeah.
Hate it.
I was worried.
To this day, I hate 60 Minutes. Mm-hmm. I do like Andy Rooney, though. My favorite part of 60 Minutes was the end.
You know what?
And that was Andy Rooney.
You know what I like about 60 Minutes?
Hey, you ever think about how it is if you make out with a girl and she has bad breath? do you never tell her? Why is that? Because you want to get laid, Andy.
That's great. No, the only thing I was worried about was maybe that Big Brother was going to be postponed a little bit.
Oh,
but
no.
All good. All good.
All right.
Hold on. I don't want to get into it. It's
what do
a
you
bad
mean you
segment.
don't want to get into it?
It's a bad segment. No one likes it.
Everybody loves it. Eddie Deerfield's a huge fan.
Huh?
Ed Deerfield's a huge fan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. Anyway, it's all goofy. But
anybody? I want to know who got. I had it written down. All right, hold on. All right, just so I know who got eliminated, because you'll know.
No. They get nominated.
Who are you? The people that we had down for nominating were Kazar and Keisha. Who got nominated? See, I wrote it down.
There was this thing, a loophole in it called the safety suite.
Big Brother sheet. See?
So there was a loophole thing called the safety suite, and you have one. You could be safe for the week, and you could take someone with you. And Kazar, he won the safety suite and took Janelle with him, so he's safe.
Him and safety suite Janelle. So then who got nominated then?
Keisha.
So we were right.
And Kevin did. So what the problem with this is
Kevin won a thing.
No, yeah, he didn't. But he didn't win the overall head of household. So the problem with this is that now what you've done.
So 2 nominations. So right now we'll find out between Kevin and Keisha which one gets eliminated.
Yeah, they'll have power veto on Wednesday elimination, with the voting will be on Thursday.
Here's my thought, Jay. Just knowing the game.
Yeah.
You call it a game.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna respect your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a game. Anyway, respecting your game.
Yep.
I think Keisha gets eliminated by the fact that she did not win a challenge.
She does not have a very strong social game, so no, I believe it's going to be Keisha.
Okay.
But
Keisha,
we'll see.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be you.
I have no idea.
We got someone calling
in. Ready?
All right. Thanks for calling. Don't hassle us so local. Who do we have on the line? Oh, please be a telemarketer.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, tell me it's something with our car.
I guess not.
No one's there?
They hung up on us.
Oh,
that was kind of fun for a while.
Man, I love it when we get telemarketer calls.
But anyway, the Twins had a bad weekend. The Cubs didn't play because the Cardinals have the COVID. Also in baseball,
Twins and Yankees both on a slide.
Yep.
4 games for the Twins, I believe.
Yeah.
And 3 games for the Yanks, both tied at 10-6 for a record.
The A's and the Astros got into a little skirmish yesterday, and
Was that because the Astros are kicking their butt?
No,
Or the A's are kicking their butt, I should say.
Yeah.
Oakland with a commanding 5-game lead in the AL West.
Mm-hmm.
In a league-leading 12 wins, the Oakland A's.
Yeah.
The best team right now, record-wise, in Major League Baseball.
So if you were to redo your power rankings starting on Monday, we do, but that's something we do in the middle of the week,
yep.
going previewing the weekend. So Ramon Lorano, he got plunked for the second time. He was on the A's, though. The A's, not the Astros getting plunked. All right, so he gets plunked, and he doesn't like it. And he's kind of jawing to the pitcher, and the umpire's walking him down there like, don't do this, you know. You don't want to do this. We're not going to get into this.
Can't social distance fight.
So he gets to first base, and he's still kind of jawing, but he's jawing at the dugout. And keep in mind, the Astros dugout is on the first base side.
Yes, sir.
And then something happens that I don't see very often. He's taking off his gear, he's jawing, and hitting coach for the Astros, Alex Cintrone, is jawing at him, egging him on. And finally, he's had enough. Ramon's had enough, and he takes off after the dugout, after Alex Cintrone, a batting coach. Not a player, not a pitcher, not anything like that. He didn't end up getting tackled by somebody, like a backup catcher for the Astros, but they cleared all the dugouts and the bullpens. And then
there's going to be some fines.
Oh yeah. But the announcers were like, how are they saying it? It wasn't like this and that good. They're like, it was just like, oh boy, this is not what you're supposed to do. This is not what you're supposed to do. MLB is not going to like this. And they just kept saying, oh boy. They're all over the place. But
sounds like my wife on a typical Friday when I'm doing something stupid.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And so that's Morikawa. And then last night we get hit with the stuff that there was like rumblings all weekend long, and it's something we're going to talk more about with Kakert on here. And it just feels like no matter what you read, you just don't know who is really reporting the right thing. So I was reading all over that. I knew that they had a meeting. The Big Ten presidents had a meeting on Sunday. The athletic directors had talked on Saturday. They wanted to do something on Sunday, and then the rumor started that the Big Ten also wanted to talk to the Power Five because the Big Ten wanted to have the Power Five. They want to have everybody cancel fall football. And those were the internet things that were the rumors. I even put it out there like it's reading different sources, stay tuned. You get some comments like fake news type of thing. And I'm like, this one seems a little bit more, it's got legs. And then you have the reports that Big Ten wants to cancel it. They would like the Power Five to follow them, but there's also the thing that everyone's kind of waiting to see because no one wants to be the last one to cancel for some reason. I get it. You're holding on, but do you know what I'm saying? I guess it's a bad optics. And so then Dan Patrick reports today on his show that the vote by the school presidents was 10-2 to cancel the season. The 2 schools that held out to not cancel was Iowa and Nebraska. So, what do you do from here, Like, I don't know. We'll talk to Kakert about it because it's just one of those things like...
I did do a jump onto Twitter this morning just to see what I could hear about that after I heard a little more. It seems that a lot of the Iowa players are taking advantage of their newfound Twitter freedom.
Yeah.
I see a lot of them coming out saying they want to play. I know the parents of the players put a letter out. I don't know if that's every one of the parents signed on to that, but there was an Iowa parents letter that went out to the university.
Kakert retweeted it, and I believe don't get me wrong. I believe Maurice Goodson started it because I did see on Twitter it was like, parents, please inbox me right away and get together. Jay probably, I know Jay Kallenberger wants his kid to play.
Jay was on Twitter vocally saying he wants his kid to play. His kid wants to play.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anybody saying they don't want to play yet, but that's obviously they're right. And if an individual doesn't want to play, there's an easy option for that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, Bird. Where do you fall on it? I mean, I know we had our I had higher hopes that I said I was 60% positive we were going to have football, maybe 70. And you were well less than that, so maybe you're right. But
yeah, I was at 33%.
But that being said, that was your thoughts on if we were going to have it. Not did I ask you, should we have it?
Yeah.
So should we have it?
That's the thing anymore. I don't know. Like, I'm just thinking about where we're at in 2 years from when this show started. Like, I know no one could ever, it is unprecedented times, no one could do that, but like, we were on the verge of when are we going to know about gambling? That we were going to have gambling all the time, and all these things. And then March hits, and it kind of shuts down. And now you kind of feel like you're getting back to normal. And we're thinking lines and whatnot, looking at games and over-unders for Iowa. And now we're just completely going to screw over the gambling market too. I mean, I guess that no one cares about that as much as I do, but there's there's jobs out there. So many people being affected here. Like
I think, and I want to say it was Kallenberger that made the comment that this has fingers that reach further than anybody can possibly imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Economically and socially, and
the small college football towns are those businesses are just they're destroyed.
It's the person who depends on just the revenue of the job per se, that works concessions on a weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's just so many people that had jobs that depend on this revenue of some sorts. Listen, you don't have a job if you don't depend on the revenue from it. That's it, period. How many people do something for free other than us?
Yeah.
But you follow what I'm saying.
I didn't flinch on set, like how this whole thing. I didn't flinch when the MAC canceled their season. Like, they were financially just destroyed when there was non-conference games were canceled. The MAC, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't flinch, and some people saying like, oh, that's the domino, and that's how it all started. I was just like, nah, they can't afford it. But just like you're saying, to your point, not only just you're affecting everybody else, you're affecting other sports, because
basically every female sport at any university right now is in danger of being canceled for quite some time.
Yeah, but don't they have Title IX to rely on? Isn't it going to be more like wrestling? Wrestling's going to be a sport that's going away.
You can rely on Title IX all you want, but when the money's not there to fund your program, what do you do?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, when the money's gone, things stop. It's how it works, Bert.
It's just going to be completely strange for a college football player to be walking around or driving around on a Friday night thinking I should be, being mentally prepared for a game tomorrow, and there's Friday night lights because Iowa City West is playing City High. West Branch is playing, I don't know, Wilton. Do you know what I'm saying? That's got to be frustrating for them.
Well, it's a different situation. I get the...
There's just no solution,
I do get the argument that you're having people travel from one part of the nation to another, state to state, whereas when you have Iowa City playing Wilton, you have North playing Central, whatever it is, Bettendorf playing PV. These are all kids from the same community.
Yep.
There is that argument.
Last night, players took to Twitter to voice their opinions, to send out a unified message declaring that they want to play. But it is under certain circumstances and conditions. Basically, people like Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields took to Twitter, and a lot of Iowa guys use Twitter, which was nice. They're saying they want to play. They want to establish a universal mandated health and safety procedures and protocols to protect college athletes against COVID-19 among all conferences throughout the NCAA. Give players the opportunity to opt out and respect their decision. Guarantee eligibility whether a player chooses to play the season or not. And they want to use their voices to establish open communication and trust between players and officials. Ultimately create a College Football Players Association. So they're talking about unionizing. Here's where, and again, Kakert will answer some more, but honestly, without being in the room, there's not too much answer that you do have. Kakert's big thing is why release his schedule last week just to cancel it within 4 days. And he's right. Why wait now when the NCAA tournament canceled in March? Why wait now to make some moves? And finally, why can't we just suspend the season to October? These are all things that we need to be talking about. Because the spring thing doesn't really work for me. I'm sorry. I know when this whole thing happened and Ferentz was like approached with it, and he's like, yeah, I guess we could do 24 games in within 8-month period or whatever else. And that was when spring football, but that's more of those things like you're doing the recklessly speculating. Hey, coach, what if this thing doesn't? And at the time, we were always just like, they're talking about spring football. That's weird. But, and I don't think...
but if you're... At this point now, if you're Major League Baseball even, and you hear that college football is going to decide to start playing in the spring this coming year, well, it breaks into something of your revenue, doesn't it?
I guess, but
I mean, just saying it disrupts the natural flow of how we consume our sports.
And the thing
I'm going to tell you right now, if people have the choice between going to a baseball game on a Saturday or their favorite college team, I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to see their college team.
Well, that's if they can go, though. The thing right now,
but like you and I talked,
yeah,
I have no interest of ever stepping foot in the city of Chicago again.
I don't either.
The rest of my life,
like unless I'm flying out of there, that's probably.
I don't care who the governor is, or even the mayor. I mean, it can be Beetlejuice, it can be Yogi Bear for all I care. I don't care. I'm not going back. The things I hear that happen in the city, I don't care. I don't care to be around it. I don't care to subject my family to it. It's not that enticing to go to Wrigley Field anymore. Mm-hmm. I can get drunk and act like an idiot in my own house. Yeah. Or in my own neighborhood. Or in my own community.
I don't think... I'm telling you, the NBA has done a good job with their bubble, obviously outside the Lou Williams thing. The bubble seems to be working for NHL. I don't know how you do it in the NFL. I don't know how you do it in the NCAA, but...
don't, because the kids have to go to classes. In the NCAA, the student athlete has to still learn. Okay, how do they still do this thing in a bubble and still learn?
Okay. Well, it's not that tough to do.
No, it's not. But what I'm getting at is, you're better. I do get the argument that the players would be better off. The players themselves are going to be healthier and safer than the regular students who have no body of people watching over their every move per se. You follow me?
Yeah.
I mean, the Big Ten, if they wanted to do a bubble situation, everybody would have to basically go to Indiana and play all their games in Indiana. Well, how?
That's not necessarily true.
Okay, well then how do you get them to try the bubble? They have to be in one area.
I'm going to tell you right now.
Well, where are they going to do it then? And they all can't play. You can't play 10 games a day. They'd have to play Friday and Saturday games, or they have to play Saturday, Sunday
that's
games.
not necessarily true. All right.
Okay, then you tell me.
You can go. So you take Minnesota, Wisconsin, Northwestern, Iowa, Nebraska, and Illinois, and you send them up to Minneapolis once a week, every other week. All right. You can do 5 games in that. You can do a round robin. Those 6 there, and the other 6 go to Indianapolis. You play every other week, and you just 5 games. That's it. There's your bubble.
But you can't play more than 1 game a week, Jay.
I know, the every other week. It's a 10-week schedule. You play 5 games the every other week so that you give a week off in case of anything that happens. COVID testing and everything.
Okay.
5 games in 10 weeks. Then you have your championship out of that. Whoever ends up 5-0, you know what I'm saying?
You're playing everybody twice?
No, you don't know. You're playing everybody once, but it's a 5-game schedule, but it takes 10 weeks. And then who goes to Indianapolis is Indiana, Maryland, Michigan State, Ohio State, Penn State, and Rutgers.
Okay, and then after that, how does Iowa then, or the other schools?
Purdue would come with us to, because it's already split right now. That's your divisions. So Purdue would go to Minneapolis.
But that's not a 10-game schedule there.
And then it's got to switch because I'm sorry, I was off on my numbers there. It's 7 now. It's 6 games in 12 weeks.
So they're just playing 6 games.
Yeah, they're playing everybody else once in your division. Iowa would play Minnesota, Wisconsin, Northwestern.
And then how would you play out of your division? You don't play out of your division.
Don't play out
of
your
all?
division.
Okay.
The winner of that will meet in Indianapolis for the Big Ten championship.
So 6-game schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Winner of the divisions face off in Indianapolis. That's all.
Mm-hmm. You go up there, so right there, and obviously someone will have a bye week or whatever. That's where it kind of gets a little wonky. But I'm just doing this off the top of my head.
I like it. You got me convinced.
Yeah, so
With the every other week thing gives players extra time for rest on top of the fact if they do have an outbreak, time to
so it's a 13-week where everyone there's a
quarantine.
bye. And there's 3 games. There 3 games. All you got to do, you start one at 11, 4, and 7. You play all day long in Minneapolis, where the Vikings play. It's in a dome.
There's 6 teams in each division.
7 in each one. Sorry.
So one team would have a bye each week.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so sometimes you'd go 2 weeks back to back without having a game. There's mandatory buys between every other weekend because you need that 2 weeks just in case someone gets sick.
Did you just think about this?
I've been flirting with it.
You're a damn genius.
But I thought of the bubbles before. But the thing is, can the SEC do it? Can the Pac-12 do it? Can
They can do it.
ACC?
It's easy breakdown.
ACC, you send them up to Syracuse and play in the Carrier Dome down there, right? And then you can play in Tampa in the Dome. Oh, they got baseball. Anyway, it's something we can talk about though.
You play in Georgia.
I understand, and Dennis is right on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment. No bubbles if student athletes go back home for 2 weeks. I get it because you're in, but the people coming into the NBA bubble every day that live in Orlando that work for Disney, they're constantly infiltrating the bubble. So I get that the kids are going back for 2 weeks. So that's what the 2 weeks are for testing to make sure everyone's okay. It's very, very complicated. It's a lot more complicated than we think. As far as what my understanding is,
Are you trying to say that they have to play in a dome?
I want them to. No, I want them to play in a dome.
Every conference? So
Yeah, which
so
is
we have the Big Ten
a climate
figured out.
controlled type of thing. Yeah,
So ACC could play. Let's just say this.
you have climate controlled. There's no postponements. There's no anything else. Yes, a dome is the best way to go. A covered stadium.
Covered stadium.
So in down in LSU, you can play in New Orleans.
All right, you play in New Orleans.
Yeah, so the SEC
New Orleans,
can play in New
SEC, and one bubble's New Orleans,
and the other one's in the Georgia Dome.
And the other one's Georgia Dome. ACC, their bubbles are which ones?
Syracuse Carrier Dome.
Okay.
And then who else is a dome around there in the ACC? And you get, I don't know what Tampa's looking like, but I mean, someone's got it. There's no dome. I mean, they play baseball on it. Is that covered? ACC. We'll have to come back to that one. Pac-12.
Pac-12.
Now, sometimes weather isn't going to be that big of a factor, but for us in the Midwest,
I don't think you'd
it's
have to worry about it so much in the ACC.
okay.
You just find a spot. And if they happen to have a situation where they know they're going to have bad weather, they just postpone it.
Stocking says in the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread that a college bubble is totally silly. No, it's not. Not if you want to have sports.
Stocking, you're silly.
Not if you want to have sports. Like that's just.
Yeah.
This is right now one thing that's proven that's worked is the bubble. It's legitimately the one thing that's proven it's worked. I mean, Cardinals have played 5 baseball games this season. The Marlins, they made it 3 games before things happened.
They're 7-3. They're 10.
Cleveland
10
sent home their pitcher because he went out with his buddies in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's not working, and you can travel back and forth. I know I've even said like you can go up weeks before if there's colleges around there that are 100% e-learning, like let's just say St. Thomas or St. John's in St. Paul, or in Minnesota State or something that you could practice in that there's not people on campus. You could use it there, and you could do remote learning. And guys, it can work if our kids can go to school. If they're talking about teaching first graders through a computer, I'm pretty sure the college kids can handle it. So I don't know, it's just one of those things. Never in a million years. I don't feel like I'm even living in a world that I even recognize right now, to be honest with you, because I just can't fathom that this is happening. And at this point of the game too, of the year in the game, that it's like, well, because nobody's coming up with any answers to really help us get anywhere, make us feel better about what we're going through. Nobody is. And
well, you would think that this is something they would already have. They had plenty of time to try to come up with a plan.
Yep. Anyway, don't want to be too big of a Debbie Downer. When we come back, let's take a look at our guesses from Friday's games, baseball, and then we'll make our picks for today, and then we'll get nice and prepped and listen to Kakert talk to us and what he's heard, and we'll try to bring it up a little bit a notch. But God, this is depressing and it's not fun. But we'll bring the heat. That's right.
Attention pizza lovers, Van's Pizza More is now open near the Plex at the corners of Middle and Forest Grove Roads in Bettendorf. They have outstanding specials on that Van's Pizza you love. Check these out, guys. A $5 cheeseburger basket, a $7 double cheeseburger basket, $5 for any personal pizza, $7 for any personal specialty, $9 for any medium, $12 for any large. They open from 11 to 9 daily with delivery to all of Bettendorf and LeClaire. All you need to do is call 563-232-1396, and Vans will have that pizza ready for pickup or delivery. Once again, 563-232-1396. That's Vans Pizza More, 5023 Competition Drive in Bettendorf.
You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah. I said give me a hell yeah.
This is Ella Schmidt, the 106-pounder for Bettendorf, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
At a time of personal loss, we each express our feeling in our own way. Whelan Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory recognize that no one service is right for everyone. That's why we offer various options for the most appropriate service, the most fitting farewell, and personalized attention to detail. Whelan Presley Funeral Homes and Crematory, Rock Island, Milan, Reynolds, and the Knox Chapel.
This is the Dan Levitar Show on ESPN Radio.
Do you expect the 78-year-old to throw a strike from 60 feet, 6 inches away tonight? Fauci. 63% of the audience said no. If Anthony Fauci, we should call him Dr. Fauci. But anyway, if Anthony bounces his first pitch tonight, should that impact his shot at winning awards?
What awards is he winning? He's been doing nothing. All he's been doing is warning us, and we've ignored him. And now we're starting sports again.
71% of the audience said yes. He's throwing out the first pitch, Dan.
We've ignored his warnings. He's not going to win any awards. We're number one at being the worst. He gave us all the advice and we ignored it. Told us how to do this, and we simply ignored him.
He'd be throwing that thing in front of 60,000 tonight if we listen.
The Dan Levitard Show, 9 till 11 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
From lines of credit in Chicagoland to equipment finance loans in the Quad Cities to better cash flow in Milwaukee, First Midwest Bank is committed to using our local knowledge and ideas to help our clients get their business momentum back. Visit wehaveideas.firstmidwest.com. You have plans, we have ideas. First Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
See, very intrigued by the Dan Levitar Show on ESPN Radio.
Your agent's name is Lou, right?
Yeah, and let's just leave it at that. Lou. I don't even know his last name. I don't want to know his last name. I just call him Lou.
Does your agent look like a Lou?
He looks like a Lou.
Who would be an agent? Mike, what do you imagine? Have you met Stugatz's agent, Lou?
I have not met Lou.
Well, what do you imagine Lou Stugatz's agent looks like?
Old-timey.
An old-timey agent from the old show business community.
Yeah, horseshoe haircut.
Well, yeah, you're pretty close. He definitely looks old-timey, and he looks like a Lou. I mean, but I love that my agent's name is Lou. You know?
Sausage links for fingers.
You imagine him tall, or you imagine him...
No, I imagine him roughly your height.
Short.
All right, he's tall and slender.
I imagine him frail.
Well, imagine him getting yelled at by me.
The Dan Levitard Show, 9 till 11 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Your business can have a website that looks great and gets found online. Find out why over 20,000 businesses have chosen Townsquare Interactive for their website design.
This is Thad Shoemaker from Shoemaker Guitar Works in Davenport, Iowa. I chose Townsquare Media because they're honest, easygoing, and with a quick email, they make the necessary changes I don't have the time to do.
Make sure your business gets noticed with Townsquare Interactive. Call Mike Perry at 563-349-7740.
You're right on par in your M&M golf car.
M&M Golf Cars, your authorized club car dealer, invites you to check out the new Onward by Club Car. Onward's all new accessories personalize nearly every detail to fit your lifestyle. Customize yours at mmgolfcars.com. 0% financing for 24 months through the end of the month. M&M Golf Cars, Bettendorf.
In your M&M golf car, M&M golf cars.
Sports, your home of Chicago Cubs baseball. This is the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Oh, we both got it bad. There's nobody hotter than a teacher. That's right. Getting back to school soon, kids. And this is Don't Hass This or Local on AM 1170.
Hot for teacher. Yeah. We're going to have teachers?
I think so.
All right. Well, there's so many questions. So we're, you get your back to school stuff getting ready, right? And we're like, hey, talking to the daughter and like, hey, do you need a new backpack, this thing? And then I'm like, wait a minute. Are they going to allow backpacks?
I was always excited this time of year when I was a younger kid.
Uh-huh.
So I get my pack of NFL pencils.
Oh, yeah.
That was just a given.
Yeah. Where's my NFL pencils? Mom, I can't go into 5th grade without my pencils. I even said to the daughter, I go, you're going to spend the last 45 minutes of every school day disinfecting that classroom, right? You're going to be a maid. You're going to be cleaning every single day. So... these are all things that we're getting closer and closer. We're 2 weeks away from the start of the school year, and we still don't know exactly. Like, I know we have the idea of what the model is going to be for schooling for her, but we don't really know the ins and outs of how it's going to go. We don't know of, like, you need to eat in your classroom. I have no idea. Again, I just feel like I'm constantly thrown for a curveball every single day, and I don't. I wish I could sit in front of this microphone on this ESPN 1170 and sit next to you and tell you what was going to happen or what I think should happen or how I have all the answers, and I just don't. And that's the thing. Nobody does, and the people that we're even trying to put our faith into have consistently not come through with the answers to calm any fears or concerns or whatnot. And
very true.
So one thing, I was telling you before the air, so one thing, it dominates your Today I didn't even turn on television this morning. I was like, why?
Yeah.
And then when I started reading stuff, and then I was reading about the rioting and looting in Chicago, and then I talked to my wife, and asked her about it, and she's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. She's like, I've had the news on for 10 minutes, and they haven't mentioned a single thing about this, because it was all about coronavirus and back to school, and the school in Georgia that went viral for being overcrowded. Now it's shutting down for 2 days because they've got coronavirus outbreak. They have to shut down. So how did the scores go on Friday when we picked our games?
All right. Jay went 7-6.
Darn it all.
Cal went 7-6. T-Roy 9-4.
Oh, man.
On the year, Bird, you're 34-32.
Not good.
I'm 41-25. You started out 8-1. And have slowly let yourself down.
Yeah,
I've had one losing week.
Hurting my feelings here.
I've gone 7-2, 12-1, 8-8, 5-10, and 9-4. So 9-4 is my third best.
That's not a week. Those are your daily games.
I'm just saying.
Hurts my feelings. All right, so I'm just 2 above 500.
Just 2 above 500. And then we have some performers from yesterday, Bird.
Ooh. Tell me about that.
Dude, those red hot Atlanta Braves. Ronald Acuna Jr. and Freddie Freeman both had a big day. 4 for 4 for Acuna with 2 dongs. 3 for 4 for my man Freddie with a homer. Kristen Yelich had a good day going 2 for 3 with a dong. Manny Machado for the Padres. 2 for 4 with 2 home runs. Also for the Padres, on the mound, Danielson Lamet, 6 2/3. 1 earned run and 11 Ks.
He flirted with the no-hitter until someone hit a home run to lead off the, I think it was C.J. Cron. No, it wasn't Cron. Somebody hit a no-hitter to break it up at the top of the 7th. Yeah, going through 6 innings.
All right, going through the scores from yesterday. The Red Sox beat the Blue Jays 5-3. The Indians outlast the White Sox in 10, 5-4. Jays Twins fall once again to those red-hot Royals 4-2.
Tough one.
The Dodgers beat San Fran 6-2. The Brewers take down the Reds 9-3. Mets over the Marlins 4-2. Stop the Marlins. Red-hot A's beat the Astros 7-2. Braves over the Phillies 5-2. Braves over the Phillies again 8-0. Tigers over the Pirates 2-1. Padres 9-5 over the D-backs. Mariners outlast the Rockies 5-3. Tampa Bay Rays over the slumping Yankees 4-3. And the Texas Rangers over the Angels 7-3. And then it brings up our standings in baseball, Bird.
Mm-hmm.
Once I said the Yankees at 10-6, still atop the East by 2 games over Baltimore. The Twins also at 10-6, holding on to a half-game lead over Detroit and Cleveland.
The pesky Tigers.
Oakland running away with the West at 12-4 right now with a 5-game lead over Texas. Atlanta Braves half-game lead over Miami at 11-6. Cubbies stagnant at 10-3, but that's all right. Everybody below them has a winning percentage of less than 500. I might have to change my strength of conferences, Jay.
Yeah.
Divisions, I should say. And then atop of the NL West, Colorado still at 11-4, half game over the Dodgers at 11-5, but the Padres are right there, only 2.5 back at 9-7. It might be our new tough division.
The West?
Might be. So we'll see how it goes from there, Bird.
I have no idea what the Cardinals are going to do. I mean, they're sitting at 2-3 on the season. They've got something like 55 games to make up in 50 days. Like, have fun. Jeez. I mean, that one was postponed today, the Pirates and the Cardinals. So that leaves how many on the docket for today then? Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games today. Looks like a good, cool 8-2 for me.
I think I'm going to go 10-0 today.
All right. Give me my first game.
First game up, the Atlanta Braves taking on Philly. Sean Newcomb on the mound against Aaron Nola.
Mm-hmm.
Newcomb 0-1 with a 6.57 ERA. Nola 0-1, 3.97 ERA.
Philadelphia's favored in this minus 145. The over-under is at 8.5. 92 degrees in Philadelphia. I'm going to go with Philly here.
I'm with you, Jay.
All right. Get a little hell yeah.
Little quickie hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right.
All right.
I said give me a hell yeah.
Yep.
The Chicago White Sox take on the Detroit Tigers. Dallas Keuchel on the mound against Michael Fulmer. Keuchel 2-1 with a 2.55. Fulmer still no decision this year, a 13.5 ERA.
Mm-hmm.
Not looking good for Detroit here.
Yeah, I like this. White Sox 8-8 on the year. Tigers 8-5. The White Sox are actually favored on the road, so the Tigers are the home dogs. White Sox, it's minus 140. Over-under is set at 9. 86 degrees at Comerica Park. I'm taking the road team. I'm taking the White Sox.
I'm with you.
Yay.
You keep going with me, you're going to be 10-0.
Maybe.
All right, the Nationals, World Series champs, taking on the Mets. Patrick Corbin on the mound against Steven Matz. Who's got the Matz? Corbin is 1-0 in the year with a 3 ERA. Matz 0-2, 5.65 ERA.
Last time I took these two, I actually took the Mets. Matz was playing, and after that I came back on and said the Mets are terrible. I think since then they've won 4 out of their last 5, since I had claimed how terrible they are. Improved their record to 7-9. The Nationals are 4-7 on the year. Washington's favored on the road at minus 115. Over under set at 8.5. I'm going with the road team. I'm taking the Nationals.
Jay's taking the Nats. I am divided here. I'm bouncing back and forth, Bird. I'm just going to go with the Mets, just to be the contrarian today.
All right.
All right. Tampa Bay Rays coming off a sweep of the Yankees, traveling up to Boston. Ryan
Yarborough.
I don't race cars, Yarborough. On the mound against TBD.
It's going to be Ryan Brazier. He's 0-0. Has not registered a decision on the year. He's got a 9 ERA.
All right, Yarborough, no victories. 0-2, 3.78 ERA.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like Tampa in this.
Tampa Bay's favorite at minus 150 on the road. The over/under's at 9.5. Supposed to be 90 degrees at Fenway Park. I'm taking the road team, the road favorite, Tampa Bay Rays.
Well, give us a hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I said give me a hell yeah.
All right.
Minnesota just traveling across the states
to
Milwaukee to take on the Brewers. Randy Dobnak on the mound.
Look at that guy.
Adrian
2-1.
Hauser, 2-1, a 0.6 ERA. Hauser 1-0 with a 0.75 ERA. I need some help from the Twins, Jay.
Yeah.
And I think Dobnak spells what I need. I'm taking the Twins.
Yeah, I'm taking the Twins too. I like this a lot. Actually, I think on the year the Brewers are 1-4 at Milwaukee so far this year, so it kind of leads to their way. Milwaukee is favored in this, but I'm not taking the favorite. I'm taking the road dog, the Twins.
All right, Arizona takes on Colorado. Robbie Ray on the mound once again. Last time I made fun of him, he won.
He seems like he throws every other game.
He's going against John Gray. Gray 0-1 on the year with a 3.31. My boy Robbie Ray 1-2 with a 9.45. Oh, Bird. Do I go against Robbie Ray again? Once bitten, twice shy. I don't know. Who you taking?
Colorado Rockies are 11-4. It is their best start in franchise history through the first 15 games. I'm staking with the hot hand. I'm taking the Colorado Rockies at home. They're minus 130. Money line, the over-under is 11.5. 78 degrees at Coors Field. Going to be a beautiful day to see this game. 7:40 first pitch. John Gray all the way.
I'm sticking with John. 50 Shades of Gray, too. And Nolan Arenado. Let's give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
The Mariners are taking on the Rangers. Justin Dunn against Kirk Gibson's kid, Kyle. Both 0-1 on the year. Dunn a 6.43. But that Gibson kid, 2.45.
Yeah.
I really like Texas in this one, Jay.
Texas heavily favored at minus 180. The over-under's at 8.5. Rangers 6-8 on the year. Mariners 6-11. I'm taking Kyle Gibson, the former twin Kyle Gibson. I'll take the Rangers as well.
All right.
Hell yeah.
The San Francisco Giants at 7-10, taking on Houston at 6-9. I would say a tale of two cities, but a tale that seems the same if you ask me. They both stink right now. Giants have not announced a starter as far as I'm concerned, but Lance McCullers on the mound for Houston. Last time we bet we're with him, he got beat by Robbie Ray.
San Francisco has announced Logan Webb. He's 1-0 on the year with a 2.13 ERA. Will be starting for them. Houston is a very heavily favored minus 200. I'm actually going to go San Francisco today. Only because I don't like that line, and it makes me think I'm suspicious of it. Astros aren't playing the best ball. They're 6-9 on the season. I'm going to go the opposite, and I'm going to take the road dog.
I'm with you.
All right.
Give me a hell yeah.
All right.
All right. Those streaking Oakland A's.
12-4. That's
12-4. Best record in baseball. Taking on the Angels. Sean Manaea on the mound against Julio Teheran. Manaea 0-2 with an 8.03 ERA. Teheran 0-1, 6.75.
This is a tough one here. Oakland's minus 125 on the road, so the Angels are the home dog. Over-under's at 9.5. It is in Anaheim, California, not a long travel. I'm going to take the road team. I'm taking the Athletics. Stay with the hot team. What about you?
Taking Oakland.
All right.
All right.
And then finally,
we've only disagreed on one game.
Uh-oh. Oh, wow.
That's crazy. All right. The San Diego Padres travel up I-5 take on the Dodgers.
Up I-5. Okay.
It's Interstate 5.
Yeah.
I-5. Garrett Richards on the mound for the Padres against Dustin. Don't call me all the way May.
Yeah.
Richards 0-1 with a 4.60. All the way May, 1-0 with a 2.63.
I think the Padres might have scratched Garrett Richards' start and they put in Luis Perdomo instead. He's
more like Perdone?
Yeah, exactly. He's has not registered a decision on the year. He's got a 5.40 ERA. Dustin May, 1.0, 2.63. Dodgers are heavily favored, minus 200, over-under at 9. This time I am taking the heavily favored home team. I'm taking the Dodgers.
Well, looks like we're going to have a tale of two cities here, Jay. One of us is going to be 9-1. The other one's going to be 10-0. We'll find out tomorrow.
Because you took the Dodgers?
No, I'm taking the Dodgers too. Yeah. The only game we did different on was the Nationals and Mets.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
I tell you what, we better do pretty well as people be upset.
We better do pretty well.
Yeah. All right, let's take our second break of the hour. We come back, take a look at some more scores around the league, talk about the NBA playoffs, the play-in game, which I'm very excited about. That there is going to be a play-in game in the NBA. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to look at. And NHL starting, and then we'll be joined by Kaker, and we'll talk more about Iowa football and Big Ten and Power 5.
Sounds great. We don't talk about it enough, everybody, but our friends from Locals Love Us are there to help you find what you need when it comes to the best things to do in the Quad Cities. They have guides spread out all over town with an easy-to-navigate table of content to help you find what you're looking for. Or you can just visit the website from your smartphone, localsloveus.com. Click on Quad Cities and browse your favorites. It's easy to use, and they're even ranking the most popular places for you. So make sure you check them out. Those are our friends from Locals Love Us. They're your guide to the best.
This is Adam Rosso from Hawkeye Headquarters, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Which stage of life are you in?
I'm shopping for a new house and can't believe I'm a grown-up stage.
How on earth do people afford college stage?
Or
I never have to think about work again stage.
No matter which stage of life you're in, First Midwest Bank has the knowledge and experience to help you. Visit firstmidwest.com/everystage. You have plans, we have ideas. First Midwest Bank, momentum for life. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Escúchame, it is Dan Levatación on ESPN Radio.
Seattle's NHL team, we're getting a hockey team?
Yeah.
Wow. Which will make its debut in the 2021-22 season, has announced that its nickname will be the Kraken. Pretty good, man. Is there anything wrong with that, by the way? The Kraken? Like 5 years from now, they're going to regret that. We're good. I mean,
I don't think this
Does the Kraken have anything in its past that is questionable?
I mean, well, tons of murder of shipmen, but
that's okay, right? As long as it wasn't, it wasn't Aunt Jemima
I'm
related.
guessing in this day and age, they probably did their research, right?
I think it's offensive and indelicate for sailors. And
the Kraken just killed. Wasn't a slave owner or anything, right?
I mean, it's a horrible sea monster, but it's also mythical, we think.
The Dan Levitard Show, 9 till 11 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
There's an old Chinese proverb. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Digging season is almost here. Shademaster Nursery wants you to stop and pick out your tree from over 12 acres of their locally grown trees. Shademaster's full-service nursery, garden center, and tree farm has the area's finest selection of shrubs and perennials, too. Visit them today and enjoy their everyday low prices. Shademaster Nursery, 4401 West 90th Street, just a quarter-mile north of Farm and Fleet in Davenport.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
They really appreciate what she's done as a sister as well as a soldier and, supporting their country.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join.
Family members that are soldiers in the Army National Guard inspire and influence, setting a path for others.
It's validating knowing that, I kind of did my part to make sure this is what they actually wanted and that they feel the same way I do. I'm really proud that we get to help shape the future, and I know that my sisters are going to be amazing soldiers.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share in.
A lot of pride, and they're just out there doing something every day and then serving their country as well.
I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Iowa Army National Guard, aired by the Iowa Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hit a home run on your next new or used car purchase at Sexton Ford. With a huge selection of new Ford cars and trucks, you'll feel like you've entered your personal field of dreams. You'll be treated like an all-star from sales to service, auto body to parts. Sexton also has a major league selection of pre-owned vehicles. Why wait? The game's on at Sexton Ford in Moline.
Oh yeah! Sexton Ford is the talk of the town.
If you're craving old-fashioned Mexican food, it's that Nally's flavor that you're after. You've got to go to Nally's Kitchen. Nally's makes everything from scratch daily and has some of the most unique items in the Quad Cities area. Try their homemade guisado, guarches, and gorditas, or enjoy their delicious tacos and burritos. Check out Nally's Express menu and get your food in 15 minutes or less. Order online at nallyskitchen.com and have Nally's delivered to your home or business today. Nally's Kitchen, old-fashioned Mexican cooking, Rockingham and Division, Davenport.
Your home for the NFL. This is the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Welcome back to the greatest show on earth. This is Don't Ask Us a Local, AM 1170 on your dial.
Over the weekend, the Memphis Grizzlies lost to the Toronto Raptors, this ensuring that there will be a play-in game. Memphis dropped 4 of their first 5 and started looking into this whole playoff thing. So how this works, T-Roy, is that the 8 and 9 teams can play, the 8 seed and the 9 seed can play into the playoffs. So if you're within 2 games of the 8 seed, there's going to be a play-in game. If the 9 seed, you know this, right? The 9 seed has to win 2 games, the 8 seed only has to win 1.
Right.
And this would take place on Saturday at 1:30. But the crazy thing is it's Portland, the Suns, and the Spurs are all right there to be that 9 seed. So, and that's will go on through the 14th. So we've got another week of games. Each team has like 2 more left. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It will be I'll be paying attention a lot more to it than playoffs in the past or whatever. I mean, they have to run in. Whoever wins that play-in series has to run into the Lakers, who they locked up the number 1 seed. So it's going to be fun. We're going to have to get a hold of Coach A.C. Earl this week and really talk to him and have him break down the playoffs and who he likes and why in each one of them that's going on.
How is Coach? We haven't talked to him in a long time.
He's good. He's been running a lot of camps up at TBK and other places through his Venom Sports. So I've seen him a few times actually, run into him because he was bringing it. He's running a lot at TBK, and one time he was at Pines once. Another time he just went over and he grabbed a pizza, and he was just stopping by. It was like a couple weeks ago on a Monday. We were playing bags. One when you couldn't play.
Oh, shoot.
He was walking by. Came up, said hi to him. So we'll get him on here and talk to him and have him talk about what's going on as far as the NBA and what he sees.
So is he now living in the Quad Cities again, or?
I don't believe so. I think he was just running a camp down here. I think he's going back and forth. So, but we'll talk with him more, obviously.
Because right now he's not doing his classes, right?
No. Okay. No. The Stanley Cup playoffs have been narrowed down to 16 teams. In the East, the Flyers and Canadiens joined the 6 returning teams from last year's final 8. And then in the West, the Blackhawks, Canucks, and Coyotes all made it back after a 13-year playoff drought, a combined 13-year playoff drought. So the Blackhawks have the Golden Knights. The Blackhawks are the 8 seed. I think that's about it for the Blues are the number 4. They have the Canucks in the first round. I'm the last one you guys want to talk to or have talk about hockey. I've just never been my thing. I know people they get excited for it, and hopefully the Blackhawks do well. But I have yet to watch a single game. Not that I have before, but I've yet to watch one turn on just because it was live sports. I'd rather watch Morikawa play. I'd rather watch Bags League, the Cornhole League, whatever they call it. Yeah,
American Cornhole League.
American Cornhole League. Why is it cornhole?
I don't know. They just
because the bags have corn seeds in them. They have corn seeds in them, and then throwing the corn in the hole. Cornhole. All right. Yeah. And bags are just. I always knew it as bags.
Yeah. No. I think they replaced the corn with the plastic pellets throughout now.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have the corn dust and all the other weird things.
Well, things have to evolve and change.
Yeah.
Rules have to, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because if we didn't do that, we would have a pretty barbaric sport in boxing. Yes. This day on August 10th, 1743, the original rules of boxing were published. 277 years ago today, England's Jack Broughton codified his rules for boxing, giving structure to a sport that had to that point been ruled mostly by loosely organized brutality, fist fighting.
Yes.
Not good, yeah. So he brought in some rules. He made 7 rules to have outside that he would implement at his personal boxing amphitheater in London.
Let me guess one of them.
Okay.
No hitting below the belt.
Yes, that is one. That's right.
No biting.
Well, yeah, that's on there. There's no hitting below the waist. Yeah, no biting.
No eye gouging.
Yeah, it's not like that though.
Come on, man. That's got to be things on here.
Nah, it's like no hitting an opponent while he's down.
Okay.
No hitting below the waist. After a fight, this is the original one. After a fighter is knocked down, the boxers must meet in the middle of the ring within 30 seconds before resuming the match. After 30 seconds, the felled fighter is ruled beaten. So that wasn't a 10 count. It was 30 seconds. You had 30 seconds to meet your opponent in the middle of the ring to continue the fight. Only the boxer and his cornerman can enter the ring, and the only way to lose, or obviously the 30-second rule, is or if you're second, your cornerman calls the match. These rules stood for about 100 years before they were changed by more safety-conscious London prize ring rules, and then soon after came the Marquis of Quisenberry rules, which are still used today for boxing. So, these things that you got to evolve. Rules have to change. Make it better for everybody.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to get across, Jay.
What's that?
Things need to change.
Well, yeah. I think that sometimes it's for the better, sometimes it's not, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway. But that's what else is going on. The time has passed for the NFL players to opt out, which I don't think they should have put a time stamp on that at all. I think you should be able to opt out anytime, just like Nick Markakis, decided he could opt in anytime after missing about a week of baseball. So, but and then this week, Hard Knocks is going to premiere on HBO. Yeah, L.A. Chargers and Rams.
Oh boy.
I don't know.
All right.
I honestly haven't watched Hard Knocks since like the Atlanta football season.
I'm just glad it's not Dallas anymore.
Yeah.
It's always annoyed me.
Hold on a second.
Which is always too much spotlight on my team. And there's already enough. So didn't need it. But why would they do the Rams and the Chargers? Just because they're getting a 2-for-1? I know they share the same stadium still, but are they going to share
just a 2-for-1. Yeah, that type of thing. And I mean, it's just because they need that. Both those franchises need to be embraced by LA. Not saying that being on HBO is going to do it, but it can help.
God, I'm going to want to check my picks.
Check your picks for what? What do you mean?
I don't know. Kind of like I forgot about Indy getting Phil Rivers.
Well, we'll get back to that because we're going to have to do, even though we first saw the schedule and we went through and looked at it, but we have to break down every single one of them like we've done the past 2-3 years now, and see how we do and what our records
Who's
are.
the quarterback out in San Diego now?
L.A.?
Well, yeah, the Chargers. Sorry, my bad.
Tyrod Taylor. Remember they drafted that Justin Herbert, but he's probably not gonna. He's not gonna. If anything, he's not gonna start before week 5.
Right.
So look. All you have to do is look for a bye week, and then I'll have 2 weeks and you can start when that is. So.
Interesting.
Yep. Very interesting. So we are seeing, and anytime now soon, Tom Kakert's going to be joining us. We are seeing reports out there that the Dallas Free Press is saying that the Big Ten has canceled it, but then there's also conflicting reports that said no one's announcing anything. It's all clickbait. It's all fake news. So it's that getting Kakert in here will probably be the best, though.
Hurry up, Kakert.
Yeah. And on the Heritage Pub Facebook comment thread, Dave Gallagher said, feel sad for you, Jay. Hockey is a great game. And I'm not debating that because I've heard nothing but like everyone that said, like, have you ever gone to a live game? And I've every time no, and they say it'll change exactly the way you feel about it. So it's just never really been. I can skate, I just can't skate backwards, and I don't think I've ever really handled a puck outside of like floor hockey in gym class. Which, by the way, are they gonna have gym classes?
Oh, doubt it.
This is the most disgusting stuff ever. It's like everything's just getting canceled. I don't know. I just don't get it. We're in a world of just nonsense. Like, I have no idea what this education is going to look like, this hybrid learning. Every other day I have to get my kid up for school, and then he gets to sleep in the next day. And I know he doesn't get his sleep in, and I know I can be the father who gets him up and shakes him out of bed. But he's also a tyrant. So.
Tyrant. Sure, he'd be happy to hear that.
He knows what his problems are. He knows it. So,
oh boy,
do you think if and this has been brought up on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment thread, do you think at all there's going to be any trickle down effect to the Iowa high school football?
As in, there's going to be a situation where they have to
cancel it, even though they don't do much as it is. Right over here.
Well, I would say if you look at what happened with the baseball season this summer, I think we'll have similar results with football.
Joining us in studio,
the legend
on ESPN 1170 AM.
Shake and Cake.
That's right, Tom Caker from Hawkeye Report. It's just been, I don't know, an interesting 10 days, 10 months. It doesn't matter. That's the point here.
I told a friend of mine today. I don't know if you've ever seen like any of those movies about like the Cuban Missile Crisis and stuff. This feels like we're in the Cuban Missile Crisis
because it's unknown.
Where we're kind of on the precipice of maybe doing something, but we don't know, and we don't know who's going to be doing what, and it's like this standoff, and everybody's nervous, and we just don't know what's going to happen. So
you're worried about if somebody's going to cross a certain parallel, and then it all goes to crap from there.
So take us through this. Last week they changed the schedule up. Iowa's going to have 5 home games. This is the Big Ten. All right. We know that they announced that ticket sales would be from 10 to 15,000.
Yep.
First come, first serve. There's no season tickets. Single game prices. They'll vary as the type of game it is.
What, Wednesday? I think we're Wednesday.
Yeah. Then they
made a big deal about it on the Big Ten Network.
Yep.
Went live.
Iowa said that they were going to do that. You could go into the parking lots 4 hours before a game.
Kevin Warren was on TV.
I said that I said in no way is this going to continue for like having people in the parking lots 4 hours beforehand. I said by the second game, week 5, that there would just be no one in attendance. Because first things first, let's just say it goes the way it is, and the 4 hours in the parking lot and everything else, we're going to screw this up.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. What changed from Wednesday to today, this weekend?
That's what we need to get to the timeline, yeah, because then over the weekend you have that.
There was appreciably nothing that changed other than
a meeting on Saturday and Sunday.
The only thing you can come up with is that the conference chancellors, the presidents, however you want to refer to them, hadn't weighed in. And what I was told this morning was Kirk Ferentz told the team, look, that 12-2 vote or whatever that stuff is out there, it's not true. Didn't happen. Hasn't happened. I think other people have confirmed that now.
So
I think, like Pete Thamel and some guys.
So the stuff that Patrick's reporting is wrong, Tom?
There may have been kind of like a take the temperature in the room kind of vote.
Yeah,
but it was not an official vote.
Okay.
I got it. So if we're all sitting here and we're talking about things,
like, how do you feel?
You can kind of feel by the tone or what they're delivering.
It's like if you're in a jury room and you're kind of trying to figure out where's everybody sitting right now. Can we get out of here real quick, or are we going to have to debate this?
Yeah, I got you. I understand exactly what you're talking about there.
So that's where we're at. So the conference chancellors, Kevin Warren, Big Ten people meeting today. They've got to figure out what they want to do. Do you want to push this back 4 weeks and kind of see where everything's at? Like, go on a timeline with the SEC, which is the end of September.
Is the Big Ten the leader in this, Tom, do you feel?
Well, the Big Ten ticked off. You look at the conferences, it's like kind of, if you were if you follow mob stories and things like the 5 families in New York or whatever.
Right.
That's what the conference, Kevin Warren, Bob Bowlesby, Greg Sankey, Larry Scott, all those guys, they're all the kind of the heads.
The Godfathers.
The Godfathers. And they make all the decisions. The college football is so dysfunctional because there is no one who runs college football. That's why you have a problem, because there's 2 problems with it. One, there's no player reps. I'm not talking about Robert T. Green, the player rep.
Yeah.
I'm talking about just guys that nobody's representing these players on a bigger scale of hey, we're going to represent the rights of these guys who are the workers here, who are the laborers.
Right now, it's their parents.
It's their parents. Yeah, but it's not organized.
No. Right.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah, it's not organized. And you don't have anybody who's kind of directing traffic and getting the conference commissioners to agree to something together. So they had a meeting earlier, whenever it was the Big Ten kind of pulled the plug on non-con. They had a meeting, and what I was told was the Big Ten, then right after that announced that they weren't doing non-conference games, and everybody had left that meeting before then kind of agreeing we're going to put that on hold, and when we do it, we'll all do it together. And the Big Ten just went ahead and did it, which is weird, well, and that pissed off a lot of people.
Okay, all right, that's what I'm going to ask you. Why
there's a lack of trust among those 5 people right now?
Why is it that this, and this is by multiple things on Twitter, why is there a feeling of being the first to announce and not wanting to be the last?
I don't know. It's silly that, to me, if you're the non-con thing, I can get past that. That's fine. But if you're going to take this jump, this leap off the ledge and say, we're not going to have football this fall, we're going to do it in the spring, I think all 5 conferences have to do that together. To go on your own or with one other person, one other school, or one other conference seems silly, because then the other 3 could go out there and play successfully, and then you look like a ding-dong.
Yeah.
You look like an idiot.
Well, in the NCAA, out of all the college football playoffs, NCAA doesn't run that.
No,
it's run. Yeah, it's run.
It's run by the college football is run by the College Football Playoff Committee. Gary Barta chair this year, by the way. Bill Hancock's the guy who runs kind of day to day. But yeah, it's silly that they're to this point. I would to me, my advice, the Big Ten and the Pac-12 is go back and let your guys practice, keep doing what you're doing. And wait to see if these other guys come along with you, because if they don't, you put yourself out there to look foolish. You really do.
And so that's what the thing was.
Because then what we could have the Big Ten and the Pac-12 are just going to play in the spring. What guarantee is there that the spring is going to be better than September?
There's none. I don't.
October, November.
I don't believe there's going to be anything in there for high school for Illinois. First things first. You're going to be playing sometimes in 8 inches of snow in the first week of April for spring football. That's the Midwest. I know how this works. So, and you're right. Just because March of when that was now 5 months ago, in March, when you just sit there and go, okay, well, NCAA is canceled, but football's a long ways away. And then they started flirting with the idea, and we talked about it in the first hour, where, Coach Ferentz is on there, and he's like, yeah, I guess we could play 24 games in 8 months. He's like, but it was like one of those
things. It's unhealthy.
It's one of those things like it was in passing. Like, what if your season got canceled the way NCAA basketball? And he was like, everyone at the time was like, yeah, right. That's not
what you're doing if you kick the can to the spring is you're playing 8 games, and then you're probably only going to play 8 games in 2021 too, because you can't play 20 games. Mm-hmm. You just can't. And that in less than a year's time frame, it's ridiculous. You couldn't do that. It's unhealthy. That's, I just don't think people are really thinking this through right now. I just don't. I think everybody's they're nervous about liability.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that. Nobody wants some kid to get really, really sick. Nobody wants some kid to potentially die. Nobody wants that. But there's risk in everything. In playing football.
Yeah, 100%.
There's a zillion more risks in playing football. You can get
have any
crippled.
Of you guys gone down the wormhole of actual COVID numbers when it's affecting, age groups, death rates for age groups, anything like that? Have any of you guys gone down that at all?
I have. I don't really. To me, whenever anybody starts bringing that stuff up, I'm like, it's settled. We understand that old people die from this at a really high rate.
Right, but
people
what I'm
who
getting
have
at is death rates for the young.
Yeah, and
or
the young
for guys these age.
Yeah. To me, it's settled science at this point, unless somebody shows me something different. So I don't even debate that.
Okay.
Because old people die from this. People who
Old people die from a lot of diseases, though.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
but it's particularly stricken old people who have comorbidities of some sort, have issues, or it's hit minority populations. It's hit people who are overweight.
I'm screwed.
But
stop.
If you're young, under 30 and healthy and fit, you generally do pretty well with this. You are asymptomatic, or you have just some kind of, I don't know, not compromising kind of things, like a cold, something like that. A little bit of a bug for a couple days, but you don't. There are exceptions, obviously. There are some stories out there about younger people who are really healthy. Guys are, I've read stories about guys in their early 30s who are triathletes who are fit as a fiddle who just got walloped by this thing and were hospitalized and had to be on vents and everything. There's always exceptions out there. But I'm just going generalizations. Young guys. Here's the other thing, because I talked to a lot of the parents in the last 24 hours.
Okay.
They want their kids to play.
Mm-hmm.
And parents who don't want their kids to play, or kids who don't want to play, let them opt out for the year. Let them retain that year of eligibility.
Which was in the initial request.
Yeah. Do that.
Right.
And I'm fascinated beyond belief by the Trevor Lawrence stuff and all those guys organizing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unionizing, fellas.
Yeah.
It's unionizing, and I'm all for it, because those guys don't have a seat at the table right now. And they are the workforce. They are the entertainment. Coaches are making $4 million. Players are, they're getting their education and everything, but they're out there.
Yeah, but they need to perform for them to move on to the next level.
Yeah. And what do you think about, here's the other thing that's really screwed up. You got guys who are fifth-year seniors who might be, probably not NFL talent, but maybe if they had a big senior year, whatever. What are they going to do?
Well, that's what I'm getting at, Tom.
Yeah.
Like we all know Trevor Lawrence and what he means
Justin
to the NFL.
Fields, all those guys. Hey, Travis Etienne.
Guys.
All those guys.
Joe Burrow wouldn't have gone in the first round if this was a year ago.
Yeah.
I mean, he wouldn't
100%.
he'd probably be an undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
And it had one of the greatest college seasons of all time. Yeah.
If this would have happened, he would have probably been an undrafted free agent.
This is just me.
Yeah.
And I am not a doctor. I'm not an epidemiologist. I'm nothing.
Whoa.
I'm nothing.
You're more than nothing.
I'm just a dopey sports writer.
You're doctor of love.
I'm just a dopey sports writer that Clay Travis and Joel Klatt and Danny Cannell thinks are trying to scare people every day.
Why do you say
they think
that?
you are?
No, I'll go off on those guys later.
Okay.
I'll get Danny Cannell for you.
Good. We'll talk.
I'm going to get those guys. I'm going to get those guys
Are
later.
you talking about later today, or?
Yeah. On the show, we're going to drop some bombs.
Now, let me ask you. Let me ask you about this.
Cannell needs slapped in the head.
Talking to a parent, an Iowa football parent, and he basically told me that team doctor, whatever,
they're comfortable.
But if one gets COVID, they're all shut down.
Yeah.
So if an offensive lineman gets it, it's not like next man up. The entire line is shut down.
I know. I've explained this for a long time with everybody to this, because everybody they're going to be fine, that they survive it. And I'm like, it is not that. It is the protocols.
Mm-hmm.
And those protocols are ridiculously restrictive at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I think they're wrong? I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do know is that they're extraordinarily restrictive and make it impossible to play football for anybody. If you're spend 6 minutes or 6 feet within 6 feet of somebody for more than 15 minutes in a day, and they come down with COVID, you're down for 14 days regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's an impossibility. That means everybody on your offensive and defensive line is done. You can't hit, or you're done. One of the two.
Yeah, no, I was shocked when I heard it.
It's an impossibility. You have to, if that's the rule, it's unrealistic. And if that's going to be the rule in the spring, it's unrealistic. Anybody thinking that we're going to have this, God, I hope we have a vaccine. Mm-hmm. I do. I pray every night that we get one soon. But it's unrealistic if you look at it from the perspective of distribution that by March we're going to have, I mean, it might be to emergency workers, healthcare, older people, but the last people who get it are going to be the 20-year-olds.
Well, from what I understand, Tom, and I just delved into this briefly, but John Stossel used to be on 2020. He does some reporting. His brother, who passed away here just a couple of years ago, he had discovered something in the human blood that basically it's something that they can use to help treat illnesses. Okay, it's something that gets produced, and as you get sick, you need more of it. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And they're saying that this thing may be the treatment for COVID. There's a possibility that from all of the preliminary studies that they've done.
Which one?
I had to look it up again. It's called, John Stossel, what did you do to me here? Leading me down crazy rope. No, great. Now it's going to reboot my thing. But it was called... I'm sorry, it's terrible radio, I understand.
Yeah, no, you can look it up. We can take a break. You can look it up. We're ready. We're
if
due.
I can find it. You know how Twitter just changes your feed.
Oh, yeah.
So now I'll never be able to find it again.
Are you... Is your Twitter game still strong, Kakert? You muting people, blocking them, or...
Yeah, I got rid of somebody last night.
Yeah, what'd they do?
I'll tell you off air.
Okay. All right.
Got rid of somebody.
Yeah, it's gone, you guys. Dang it. I'm sorry.
No, it's all
But
right.
anyway, what this thing is and so this other doctor that worked with Stossel's brother has gone on to champion this, but it's something that's out there that's a possible treatment, a possible really good treatment for this, but they still haven't laxed any of the things,
the FDA regulations.
regulations. So, I mean, we're still sitting here spinning our wheels when there's possible cures, treatments, if you will.
By the way, I'm getting texts from my Iowa City friends said we need to buckle up.
Yeah, there's a storm coming, and it's pretty bad. My buddy in Des Moines, his business right by it got hit. Apparently, the hockey rink near his business in Des Moines, the roof got ripped off.
Roof ripped off, I heard.
Yeah, so it's pretty bad there. This is supposed to go on anywhere between 2 and 5 o'clock today. So
the winds are supposed to be here shortly.
Yeah, it's supposed to end anywhere between 2 and 5 o'clock. It's supposed to be here real soon. So take care. Take a little bit of cover where you're at.
Buckle up and listen to us for the next hour.
High winds, string, isolated tornadoes possibly. What?
Yeah,
100 mile an hour winds.
I would say we should buckle up.
100 mile an hour winds.
Yeah.
Is what they were warning about.
Holy.
Let's take a quick break. You read that for me, and we'll be right back. Don't Hassle Us Local. Talking Kakert more about the University of Iowa football, the future of college football, and this apocalyptic storm that's coming our way.
It's over, man.
It's all over.
We're dead. We're dead, dude.
Your pets' heads are falling off.
We're screwed, man. Yeah. Locally owned and operated in the Quad Cities since 1934, Tri-City Equipment has been your source for restaurant equipment and value. With the competitive prices and full service on all your restaurant equipment needs, like kitchen cookware, cooking equipment, refrigeration, kitchen utensils, tableware, glassware, flatware, you name it. All their stuff is guaranteed, including 90 days on labor and 30 days on labor, 90 days on parts. If you're looking to cater an event or you're just looking for some new items for your in-home chef, check out Tri-City Equipment online at tricityequipment.com or stop down to 527 West 4th Street and look at their newly remodeled 2,400 square foot showroom with 1,600 items in stock. They deliver to all Quad Cities residents and will match any online pricing. So give them a call today, 563-322-5382, with any questions you may need. And once again, that's our friends at Tri-City Equipment, 527 West 4th Street in Davenport.
Woo! You like that? You like that?
This is Coach A.C. Earl. Don't hassle us. We're local.
Baseball is back. Catch every pitch, every double play, and every home run at Circle Tap in Davenport. Catch every game on one of their 16 flat-screen TVs or socially distance on their screened-in patio. Get $1 domestic drafts during every Cubs and Cardinals games and take advantage of their daily food and drink specials. Plus, pick up $5 box lunches with a pulled pork sandwich, chips, and slaw. Plus, buy 15 lunches, get 5 free. Enjoy great food, great drinks, and great friends. All baseball season long at the Circle Tap, West Locust Street, Davenport.
Escúchame, it is Dan Le Batard on ESPN Radio.
I love Chris, and I want to support Chris in whatever he wants to do. And if he likes magic or he wants to talk about how today's the last today ever, that's something I'm going to support forever.
What is that you said?
Well, this goes back a ways, Dan, and we've been trying to get this off the ground for some time now, but we were talking, Chris and I, and we kind of just realized, hey, today's September 23rd, 2019. This is the last September 23rd, 2019 ever. And they were like, wait, tomorrow's the 24th, and that's the last one of those ever. And then we just realized that today is always the last today ever.
It's crazy to think about because most people think, oh, you know what, I'm going to get one next year. But no, it's different. It's not the same thing. Today is the last today ever. Doesn't that blow your mind, Dan?
Ooh. Make it count. I mean, seriously.
The Dan Le Batard Show, 9 till noon on the Quad Cities Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
Attention Quad Cities. Liberty Packaging in Rock Island is now hiring for machine operators and assistant machine operators. If you are mechanically inclined and familiar with running machines, this is for you. Assistant machine operators start at $14 per hour and machine operators start at over $16 per hour and up. Get great benefits including 3 weeks paid time off to start and the ability to earn up to $1,000 in bonuses the first year. Family owned for over 100 years. Apply at libertypackaginginc.com.
If you're talking, they will hear you every single time.
Now we're getting killed.
Yeah, well, Kyle's not here.
How come?
Kicked off the team. Didn't Tim tell you? Kyle and some other kids got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah. Zero tolerance. He's out for the season.
Come on, it's a first offense, right?
That we know of. But why should that matter? He knew not to drink. I've made it clear to Matt that's what we expect from him. What have you said to Tim?
Nothing really. You know, a lot of kids try it at this age, so...
Yeah, well, a lot of kids don't try it too. I'm not saying that Matt's gonna be this perfect kid, but if I don't tell him what we expect and why he shouldn't drink, how's he gonna know?
You think kids that age really listen?
They never admit it, Bill, but they hear more than you think.
Talk. They hear you. For more information about talking with kids about underage drinking, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Introducing First Midwest Bank's newest branch, your home. With our online banking and mobile app, it's easier than ever to make a deposit from the dining room, pay bills from the patio, or get alerts in the loft. The convenience of First Midwest Bank, right from your own home. Visit firstmidwest.com/convenient to get started today. First Midwest Bank, momentum for life. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Car old? Need it sold? Get rid of that old car and do a good deed at the same time. It's the Arrowhead Ranch Annual Auto Auction coming soon to Coal Valley. That's right, it's back. Donate your car, truck, SUV, or motorcycle, and if you live within 40 miles of Coal Valley, they will even pick it up, even if it doesn't run. All donations are tax deductible. Call 309-799-7044 or visit them online at arrowheadyouth.org. Car old? Need it sold? Arrowhead Ranch Annual Auto Auction. Stay tuned for an auction date in Coal Valley.
From the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studios, this is the Quad Cities Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KBOB, Davenport.
Back in the studio here at Don't Hassle Us Local, we have the honor and privilege of having Mr. Tom Kakert in the house.
Cakes. So they gave the idea of how the tickets were going to be last week when they announced it. Did they give you any idea, the ideas of what they were going to do with press?
No.
Okay.
That's why I think everything has just been on hold. There were a couple Big Ten schools that have had some minor media availability kind of things in the last couple of days, but nothing really. We've never seen anything about a Big Ten media day. I mean, the Big 12 even canceled theirs, and it hasn't been rescheduled. So I think everything is just kind of on hold right now. Just waiting to see what we end up doing.
Do you know what they're going to do? Like, as far as those tickets go, are they going to be filling in the suites?
I think they got to figure out if we're going to have games first.
I know. I'm just if we were on the positive side, I was wondering if they weren't going to be able to hold suites, if they were going to move you guys around in the press.
I think there's a possibility that we would get moved around
because more than likely
not going to be a lot of space.
Yeah, and
in fact, I've told them, I'm like, you can put me wherever. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not up to that level yet where I get to have conversations with them. Pretty much, I just feel like I'm on the outside looking in, so I'll sit wherever. I just figured
that's why he followed you around a lot last year, Tom.
But I just don't know. I just don't know
if
there's
Spike. Where you going, Spike?
He is little.
I know. Hey, Spike, that guy over there's looking at you, Spike.
Yeah. Knock it off.
One of my favorite Warner Brothers cartoons.
Speaking of other media guys, it was Dazzle's birthday over the weekend.
Yes, we have to wish Matt Randazzo a happy birthday. I told him we would do that. I talked to him a little bit ago. So
how old is that old man?
I think he's like 47.
Is that old?
No, he's not.
Okay.